off, we have Alana Cline is here, joined by Leigh Cline. And Alana, great to have you here in the studio.
Yeah, great to be here.
And congratulations, you just graduated from York?
Yep, last week actually.
Wow.
Wow, fresh out of school.
And you released a CD, right?
Yes, that's our EP.
Yeah.
So we recently recorded that.
Not in the week since you've
No, we
graduated.
did that last fall.
Okay.
And we've been sort of getting it out recently. So.
Well, I heard you guys in rehearsal warming up. And wow.
Yeah, it sounded great.
Amazing.
Thanks.
Now this is now this CD. First of all, where was that? I know it. Where was that picture taken? Alana?
It was actually taken in a ravine near Coxwell Station, just south of the Danforth.
Yeah.
I don't actually know the name of the ravine. A friend of mine lives near there, so a friend who took the photo. So.
I'm picturing it. My sister lives near Coxwell Station.
Because that's an amazing shot.
Yeah. See, this is like in the middle of Toronto somewhere, basically, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like it's somewhere in northern.
Out in the country.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about, before we actually get a performance, which we're really looking forward to, but let's talk about the kind of music that you do.
Okay, what I play is, I started out as the Cape Breton fiddler. I studied with Sandy McIntyre for about 10 years. And then I got into the Irish scene. And I've studied with a fiddler here in Toronto, Patrick Orso, as well as Maeve Donnelly, a fiddler in Ireland. I studied with her over Skype.
Wow.
How is that? How can you study?
It's interesting because you can talk to each other and you can play one at a time, but it doesn't work to play together. Because even if you start together, there's still a time delay.
Right.
But it works. It's a lot easier than moving to Ireland, like, because I was able to do it during school and take lessons with Maeve during school.
Now, could she watch your movements? Is that how you did it? She watched your playing, and then and could she hear any notes and that kind of thing? Is the sound good enough to do that, and the video good enough to do that?
Yeah, my dad had a pretty good camera for it that sort of shows a wider angle than like a general webcam. Wow. So she was able to see exactly what I was doing.
Awesome technology.
I'm just curious, why have you been to? You haven't been to Ireland?
I have, yes.
Okay, but yeah, it's easier to, But how about Cape Breton?
I have been to Cape Breton as well, yes. I went to the Gaelic College in Cape Breton when I was a kid, so I stayed there for a week during the summer as well.
And what, can I ask what the attraction for you was to Cape Breton and Irish fiddle music?
That's sort of a bit of a, I'm not exactly sure where it appeared from. Yeah. But my dad plays Greek and Turkish music as well, but he was also a folkie in the Yorkville scene. So I grew up listening to sort of folk music, and then when I was 8, I just said I wanted to play Celtic music. I don't know where it exactly appeared from. But
so you're not from the East Coast?
No. I just love the music.
Leigh, any insights about all that?
Well, the funny thing is that she never heard me play Celtic music because I hadn't played it for years. I mean, I played some folk stuff, but basically I was working in Greece and working in Turkey, and she came with us, you know. But when she saw me perform, that's what I was performing, and I was sort of surprised when, when she was like 7 or whatever, 7 or 8, and she said, I want to play violin and I want to play like Natalie McMaster. It's like, what? Okay. So that's when she got Sandy McIntyre as her teacher, who's like the Cape Breton fiddle teacher.
Do you have to audition for Sandy, or can any? And she must be quite expensive then too.
Well, no. I mean, Sandy still plays. Sandy's, how old is that, 75? I don't know, something like that. Sandy still works with his band on weekends, but he does a lot of teaching too. And he is, for my money, the top Cape Breton fiddle teacher around.
And he's in Toronto?
He's in Toronto.
Yeah. Okay, well...
How convenient.
So, Alana, based on that, then, what do you think it was that was such a strong attraction to the Cape Breton fiddle music?
I think part of it is I grew up going to the Greek and Turkish music things. A lot of what my dad was doing was dances.
Yeah.
And I've grown up loving dance music. And Cape Breton's a real dance music tradition.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly when I heard it and what made me want to play it, but listening to Natalie McMaster as an example, like when I hear her music, I want to dance, which is what I always hope for when they hear my music.
Yeah.
So I think that's what really, I guess, attracted me to Cape Breton music specifically.
So would it be a dream of yours to play with Natalie?
That would be fantastic.
Let's see if we can make it happen here on ThatChannel Miracles.
Okay, well, let's start by getting. Maybe you guys can do something for us now, and then we'll know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start with, I guess, 2 slip jigs. They're Irish slip jigs. The first one's called Elizabeth Kelly's Delight, and I learned it from Maeve, my fiddle teacher in Ireland, Maeve Donnelly. And she knows it from the playing of John Kelly, a fiddler from County Clare in Ireland, who is the father of James Kelly, the fiddler. And then the second tune we're going to play is Gusty's Frolics, which she knows from the playing of Sean Kane from the Chieftains.
Okay, thank you. Was that the 2 of them together?
Yeah.
You said it was a slip?
A slip jig.
What's a slip jig?
A slip jig is a type of jig. So a normal jig.
What's a jig?
A jig is a jig is a form of a dance tune, and it's usually in 6/8. But a slip jig is in 9/8. So it's a slightly different
9/8.
timing.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Can you do a bar of each and show us the difference?
Yeah.
Well, that's a great question. Thank you, John. A bar of each to show us. So is this going to be 6/8?
6/8 is okay. It's 3/3. The 6/8 is 3 and 3. That's one bar. So it's and the slip jig is 9/8, which is 3/3/3. But play the melody.
Yeah.
The melody feels different.
Okay.
So a slip jig would be.
That's a 6/8 or a 9/8?
A 9/8.
Okay.
But a jig would be.
Oh my God, that's very different.
It is, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's really cool. So what's the difference between that, say, and Cape Breton music?
Well, what's interesting about Cape Breton music is basically old Scottish music from the 1700s when a lot of the Scottish people came over to Cape Breton, and the music didn't really change that much from the music from the people who came over. So Scottish music in Scotland changed a lot, but the Scottish music in Cape Breton stayed
frozen in time.
Oh, so it's ironic. So it's a little more traditional in Canada than it is in Scotland.
Yeah, actually now a lot of musicians from Scotland come over to Cape Breton to hear the old Scottish style and learn that.
Oh, wow.
So what's interesting about Cape Breton music, different from Irish music, is there's a few similarities in Irish and Scottish music.
Okay.
In terms of tunes, the music played, and a lot of the tune types are the same. So some of that's similar in Cape Breton. Like you have some of the same tune types, and a few of the tunes are the same. But a lot of the modern stuff is very different because since Scotland and Ireland are so close, there was a lot more transmission between the two.
Right, right.
How come we don't hear about a Newfoundland kind of folk fiddle music? You'd think that if Cape Breton has it, that Newfoundland would have something too.
I know there is. I actually don't know that much about the Newfoundland fiddle scene, but I know there are like Newfoundland fiddlers. So
Newfoundland is more Irish.
Yeah.
It is.
And Cape Breton is the Scottish part, and Newfoundland has a lot of Irish,
doesn't
old
it get
Irish.
Mixed up too with the French-Canadian fiddle music, which is also even. Aren't they all Celts anyway? Even the French Canadians?
Well, not the French Canadians, but yeah, no, the music does get mixed. So in Quebec, a lot of French Canadian music does have Irish influence because a lot of Irish came during the potato famine, and it's all mixed up a little bit. And to my mind, the best of the old Cape Breton fiddlers, and I know Alana agrees, is a guy by the name of Winston Fitzgerald. And he was French, Canadian, Irish, Scottish, Cape Breton, all of that combined, and it's quite incredible.
So can you
music.
hear like the fusion of all of those different backgrounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's why you like him?
Yeah, he's got a very individual style, which is part of what I really like, because you can hear the Cape Breton in him, but you can also, in my opinion, and my dad I know agrees, you can hear some Irish influence in him as well.
Okay.
And I know he went down to the States and worked in some Irish communities there playing fiddle, so I don't know if that's where the Irish influence came in. But I just really like the fact that he takes all these different styles and makes them his own.
Mm-hmm. So what are your plans, Alana, that you have now that the CD is out? Are you going to be touring, or have you had the chance to actually play out in Cape Breton and get feedback from the people out there?
I haven't been to Cape Breton in quite a while. It was about 10 years ago, I guess, that I went to Cape Breton because I went to the school there during the summer. I'm planning on going out there hopefully sometime soon. I went to Halifax last summer, which was fantastic. I got a chance to meet some traditional Celtic musicians in Halifax.
Now, are they welcoming to you because you're not from the area, or this Ontario girl who...
They were very welcoming. I went to a Celtic session there, which is essentially just a jam session.
Oh, okay.
Well, that one was mostly Irish music, but they were so welcoming. It was incredible. So.
Wow. I noticed when I was watching you play, it's very natural for you. I mean, you actually look Celtic. I don't know if there's such a thing, but truly, I mean, there's no blood, Celtic blood or anything like that in you? No. Wow.
Not that we're aware of.
No.
Okay, that's the operative phrase. No, but you really do. It looks so natural. It really looks like you grew up in that environment. It's funny how that works.
You know what? We'd love to hear another performance if you can do one for us.
Yeah, we'll actually play a Cape Breton set now.
Oh, okay, good.
The first tune is called Stumpy. The second tune is Duke of Perth, and the third one is West Mabou. The first one's the Strathspey Bay, which is a Cape Breton tune type, Cape Breton and Scottish. And the second two are reels.
And what time signature are we looking at here?
4 for both of them.
4/4?
For what? 4/4?
4/4.
But the Strathspey is really syncopated, so it sort of doesn't it feels like a 4, but it feels like sort of a bit of an awkward 4, as opposed to a reel that feels like a lot smoother.
Now, Hugh, this makes a lot more sense to you than it does to me, correct?
Well, 4/4 is pretty much the standard.
Yes, I know that, but when you said the syncopated feels like an awkward 4 and all that stuff.
A little bit.
Okay. He's a musician.
I'll know better when I hear it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, you accomplished your goal because I really felt like getting up and dancing.
Great. Glad to hear that.
Didn't you? I just don't know how to dance to that music.
Well, you know.
But he can't dance. He has no sense of rhythm. Right?
Wrong.
Well, oh no, because you play
wrong.
bass. Okay, sorry.
Very wrong. No, that sounded great, guys.
Yeah,
so what are you going to do, Alani? The CD is out now. People can purchase this, I take it. But any chance people in Toronto or anywhere else get a chance to see you perform in person?
Yeah, we're actually, our next big performance is on Canada Day, actually.
Oh, great.
We're performing at Mel Lastman Square
Okay.
from 5 to 8 p.m. doing pop-up performances.
What does that mean? You walk around the crowd and then just all of a sudden start playing?
Essentially, we're going to be just appearing in different areas of the square performing. So.
You and your dad?
Yes.
That's nice.
That sounds great. And then any plans to tour or anything like that? I know you guys have traveled a lot in the past, but anything coming up for you guys?
We're working on
tour.
I know you're not going to Greece a lot these days, Leigh.
That's for sure.
Or Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey's gotten a little rough these days, but no, Greece. There's no work in Greece at all. They're sort of all coming here to play because there's no work there.
Yeah.
Before we go, Leigh, we should just talk briefly about this book that you put together. Do you want to just tell us about this?
The book, I put this book together with Sandy McIntyre, and it's Cape Breton fiddle sets for guitar and fiddle. And it's a fiddle line in music, a guitar line, guitar tablature, and guitar chords. and it's one of the really few books around of, well, Cape Breton, I think it's the only book around that has all the guitar chords, which is one of the reasons we did it, because I wanted to play with Alana, and I said to Sandy, where do I find the chords? And he said, nobody's done them. So we did the book together, and it's Mel Bay published it, so it's available worldwide, you know, in Toronto or in Canada, Long and McQuaid, or from Mel Bay directly. And it's arranged in sets, so it's not single tunes. It's 4 or 5 tunes in a set. So
just like what you guys were doing here.
Just what we were doing here.
And so for people that are in, like, who's this book for? For guitar players, for fiddle players?
Bass players.
Yeah, okay.
Piano players. I mean, it doesn't have it has the chords. So basically any rhythm instrument, like accordion rhythm instrument, and anybody that wants to play the melody line on any instrument. I mean, you can do it on banjo, you can do it on whatever.
Okay. All right. Well, great to have you guys on here.
Thank you.
Good luck and congratulations on finishing school.
Thank you.
And the CD. And Alana,
the CD,
where
EP.
can people get their hands on the CD if they want to purchase it?
By contacting me.
Okay.
So the best way would be, I guess, through my email or through my website.
AlanaCline.com.
Exactly.
And we're going to put that in the, you know, the credits so people know how to spell it. And actually, we're going to go out now with one of the songs from your CD. Which one do you want to go out with?
What about the Scholar set, the first one?
Yeah.
That's
it's
the number
second
2.
one.
Oh, sorry,
according
second
to
one.
the
Yeah.
second set. Okay, we'll do that. And we're going to come back in a couple of minutes with Tom Smarta as Liquid Lunch continues. We'll be right back.